For better living, are you feeling good tonight? This thing got me thanking God for life.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this tutorial, we're going to be doing the 3-layer tribal goddess cornrows. I had to think about it for a minute. So the first layer, we're going to be doing individual braids. You can do cornrows in this layer, but it's going to take too long, so I like to do individuals at the very back behind the ears, and I'll just be doing about 3 different rows. As you can see, I was trying to decide if I should do 2 rows of individual braids, or just 1, but or just 2, but I decided to do 3. So the first row is going to contain 3 individual braids, and then the next row is going to contain 4, and then the next is going to contain 5 rows of individual braids. So first thing I like to do is take my product. You guys know I love working with the Shine and Jam. This is not sponsored, by the way, but if they want to sponsor me, they could. So I like using my Shine and Jam extra hold, especially when I'm working with natural hair, because it makes it manageable to braid and all that good stuff. So here's the thing, for this tutorial I wanted to add curly hair to the ends, but I changed my mind when I got towards the end of her hair. Honestly, I got lazy because it would have taken me so long, and I just decided to go a different route, which I'm going to show you guys. But for those who are interested in doing the curly hair at the end, you know, you like that look, then you could also do it as well. I'm just gonna do like a quick 30 seconds show of how you can do that, but you don't have to do it that way. I'm going to show you the alternative, okay? So as you get to the end, you just take a little bit of that deep twist hair and just add it, so that way you can have that goddess looks at the bottom. But if you don't like doing this, and I've gotten a lot of comments in my goddess braids and all that look about you guys saying, oh, you want to be able to dip the hair in hot water, I have a different method that I will be showing you guys towards the ending of the video. If you want a different alternative to be able to dip the hair and still get the curly hair at the end, but that's what it looks like if you wanted to add crochet hair, curly crochet hair to the ends to give it that look. But I'll show you a different way to get more defined curls and just, you know, a different vibe. So I'm working on the second layer of individual braids. Oh, by the way, I guess I ended up doing 2 rows of box braids at the back behind the ears, so I had to readjust my parting a little bit to allow me to do that, because I was thinking, I'm like, yo, if I had to do 3 layers and then do 2 layers of cornrows at the top, I would have been so tired. So I was trying to work smarter is what I'm trying to do. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys once again how I added the hair. Just simple, you just take a very small amount of that curly hair and just add it to the ends as you braid, and then braid the hair up until you have completely or almost covered the straight hair, and then just take a very tiny amount of that curly hair, create a knot, but do not secure the knot yet. Do not pull the knot. You're just gonna take your super glue. I like to use my Gorilla super glue. Just add a very tiny dot, like literally a dot of glue is all you need. After you place the dot where you want your knots to go, you're just going to take that piece of hair you wrapped around and you're going to pull it to secure the glue and the knots together. That's going to keep the hair in place and keep it from unraveling. And then you just take a pair of scissors and cut off any extra straight hair, and that's it. So for layer 2, ooh, that was a mouthful. For layer 2, we're just doing very small parts, not too small because we don't want to be there all day, but this process really took time. Like, this hairstyle takes time, so make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes and just make sure you're good and comfortable, because you're going to be here for a while, especially if you're doing this 3-layer whole thing. Some people like to do individual braids all through, including the section I'm working on. They like to do individual braids, but I feel like you don't get a thick and full look. Like, it kind of looks scanty a little bit. So if you want a very full look, you have to do cornrows in the second layer and then cornrows at the top layer. But if you want something quick, you can always do the individual braids in the first 2 layers, so that way you save a lot of time. But you know, of course, we like to give ourselves work over here. So yeah, so I'm just doing the Ghana technique because I want it to be I want her natural hair to be covered, and I don't want her, you know, her real hair to be showing. I want this hairstyle to ooh. I want this hairstyle to essentially last as long as possible, is what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost done. So when you get to the top, you can go ahead and start dancing, singing praises, do your hallelujah, because you're almost done. You're this much close to being able to go sit down and go take a nap, because at this point I was so tired, you guys. I had a long day. So I'm just going to be doing 2 cornrows going back at the crown. I could have done 1, but I wanted to be extra and just give it more personality, so I opted for 2. And of course, I'm going to be doing the Ghana technique as well, because like I mentioned, it really works really well for anyone with natural hair. It makes the hair last longer. It just looks good. Okay, so that's what we like to do over here. I'll try and do another tutorial where I'm just doing the regular fitting, because I feel like I've been doing this Ghana thing for a minute now, but I can't help that it works. Okay, so if I were you, I would get into this and learn it. It's actually really easy. I used to think it was the hardest thing to do, but all it is just how you place the hair, and just training your mind or your fingers to remember that, oh, you don't leave one hair out, you just add it and continue to braid. So yeah, you may have to get your mannequin head and practice, but you know, your muscles will eventually remember and you will just get the hang of it. And remember, like I say, always start with the smallest pieces and then gradually increase the size of the hair that you're adding to the braids. But then when you get to the middle section, just keep the size consistent, like reduce it and then keep it consistent all the way down. Okay, so that way it doesn't get too thick. Okay. So we are at the last little section. All right, so we're basically going to be doing the same thing, except we're just parting the parts a little bit different. Now as you go further to the left, as you part further to the left, the head is going to curve, so you want to keep that straight line. It's going to naturally fall in place, so don't get nervous, don't get scared. Just continue to keep that line as straight as you possibly could, but the hair, the natural hair shape of the person is going to do the work for you, so you don't psych yourself out. Just try and keep it straight as much as you can, and just keep that line looking consistent throughout, and then the natural curve of the person's hair is going to guide you as well, and it's just going to fall. Like you're gonna get to a point where the back side of the top layer is going to create like almost like a triangle, so you want to use the top point of the triangle to continue to create that straight line all the way through, and you see it's going to naturally have, you know, that consistent look at the top. So don't get psyched out by how to make all the parts, I mean the, you know, how to make it look even, or you know what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about ish. If you don't, I should probably shut up, but you know what I'm saying. So now this is where I was telling you guys that I decided to do things a little bit different. So instead of adding that curly hair that I showed you guys earlier, I decided to use some curling rods to just curl the braiding hair, just to see the curls and how it's going to form. Now I was kind of nervous, I wasn't gonna lie, because at this point I was really tired. Like I wanted to go sit down, I was over it. I just wanted to do something super quick, so I decided to bring out my rods. This is like the medium size, I believe, and when I'm twisting it around, I'm also twisting the hair to make sure that when I unravel it, it has a very nice twist to it, so it's not just like blah, it's like kind of like already twisted while it's being twisted thing. But yeah, just taking a pair of scissors and just trimming off any flyaways that you may see or not see, and then I'm going to dip it in hot water. And you want to be very careful about this, especially because the hair is going to be a little bit shorter, so you want to make sure that you're not taking too much curls or hair into the tub than you need to. So just kind of break it down in little sections, so that way you can easily manage it, so you don't accidentally pour hot water on yourself, which I have done before. So be very careful and just take your time. And you know, whenever you dab it out, make sure you have a towel to guide you, so that way water doesn't drip from the rods. And I'm just taking my spritz to spray the hair while it's dripping water into the towel. I'm just taking a little spritz and I'm just spraying it. The spritz is going to keep the hair curly for a long time, so it's going to hold that curls for you. So when you're unraveling the hair, what you want to do is twist it the opposite way that we twisted it into. That's going to make sure that the curls stay put even when you unravel it. So you're just going to twist it counterclockwise, and yeah, just take your time and you should be good. So when you have completely unraveled them, I want you to just take a pair of scissors and just cut off those little stringy hairs at the end, because if you don't, it's going to get tangled up and you don't want that. So just those little random pieces of hair that didn't quite curl, just cut them off, and yeah, you should be really good. So the next step we're gonna do is take some mousse and just use that to apply to the hair to give it some shine, give it some moisture. And just take a hot towel, you can just dab it through to make sure that you get those flyaways. I don't think I actually did that, but you could do it if you needed to. Or if you have excuse me, if you have a wrap sheet, you can wrap it to make sure that it's flat, but we didn't need to do any of that. And I'm just spraying some braid spray, and that was it. That's how we got this hairstyle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, make sure you share, like, comment, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Have a merry day and God bless.